This is a homage beat.
All right, guys, what's going on? I'm checking the sound just really quickly. We're making sure it's all good. We're good? All right, so we are here. Yeah? Everything's good? That's just because of headphones. All right. We're good. We're good. I'm sure they'll let us know if we're not good. All right. No, what's going on? This is going to be so hard to read chat, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. Okay, so as you can see, we are at a different setup today. There's Kelsey.
Hi.
That is our special helper for today. And you guys are kind of, I'm sure you got the hint by now what we're doing. This is our UFC 246 recap. But at the same time, this is going to be a little goofy challenge that we were going to do had I lost predictions. I didn't lose predictions, but you guys came out and supported with the craziness. The numbers that I had in the chat were insane. So we're going to do this waxing, it looks like. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I thought you guys deserve something in the chat for riding with me. It was a fun night. It was awesome having you guys in. No, you were amazing. Everybody that popped in was amazing. And we're going to try to go through a UFC recap while getting my leg waxed today. So,
I'm going to actually put the chat right here. It's so much easier.
yeah, that might be a little easier. So, I might have to do it on my phone.
No, I'll just give it to you. So, do your thing.
So, yeah, we're going to do it. All right, so let's just get started, I guess. So Saturday night we had quite a card, guys. I mean, it was pretty much the card that we wanted because of the main event, obviously, but not exactly because of what went down after. You can start waxing as I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting cold.
We're gonna do it as we do this reaction. We're gonna do the wax. So I've never had my legs waxed.
I've never done this, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
We're both very new to what's about to happen here. That's a lot of wax. So yeah, so the UFC 246 card was great. Okay, that was a little much. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
I still have to spread it.
And it's sticking to me. Okay. Oh, I'm not ready for this.
It's gonna hurt.
I'm not ready for this. I don't want it. Okay. Listen, guys. This wasn't thought out very well.
I hope it works.
No, I don't hope it works. Which way? Wait. Which way are you gonna tear it? Which way are you gonna tear it? No. Do it the other way. No.
Fine.
Oh, no. Just wait a second. Wait a second. Just wait a second. Don't do the 1-2 and then pull on before that. You better tell me exactly when you're pulling.
Ready?
Okay. Oh, what do you mean? So yeah, UFC.
Ew.
Oh my God.
Ew.
That's what that feels like?
Look.
Oh. UFC 246 was a
So smooth.
great card. We had who'd we have to start the main card off? I can't even think right now. Jesus. We had probably should put it up like that. We had oh yeah, we had the Macy Barber fight, which I thought we had the Macy Barber fight, which I thought was interesting. We found out later on that Macy Barber actually tore her ACL. So so that's unfortunate. Obviously her dad, are you going to count down or are you just going to rip stuff? You need to tell me.
No, I'm not telling you.
We found out from her dad that she actually tore her ACL, so that's always fun. Now she's faking. Okay. Oh my God. Ooh wee.
That is so nasty.
Kyle, what's up, man? Okay, you don't have to show every.
I'm just showing.
Let me see. Oh man, that one didn't feel good. So yeah, so we had Macy Barber come out, her dad come out and say she actually fully tore her ACL, which is unfortunate. But what a performance from Roxanne Modafferi. She absolutely killed it. Oh, this is on the inside me. I don't like this one bit. Okay, that's a lot you just put on.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Whoo-wee. So yeah, so unfortunately for Macy, she's probably not going to be the youngest UFC champion of all time because to do that, she's going to need more than this 9-month layoff. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that she's still going to be fine. Like, she's still going to have opportunities and things. Oh, that's a hefty one. That was a hefty one. That one wasn't fun. You didn't even get half of it.
Hold on, I'll get it.
Oh man, you gotta like make it even. No. Put a little. Okay, and I'm sweating. Oh, you've gotta give it some time. You're just pulling.
This isn't my profession.
Okay, so don't do it again. Just put more on. Okay. So maybe
Macy is a warrior for coming.
Macy's a warrior for continuing. Yes.
Sorry.
Macy is a warrior for continuing. Jesus. No says I saw the Conor versus Cowboy fight 5 minutes after it ended. It was uploaded by a lot of channels. Yeah, channels will do that. And I'm not the biggest fan of doing that. One, because I want to support the fighters. Those fighters don't get paid. I mean, it might not be like Conor or like Cowboy who are in the main event. The other fighters, they're not getting paid unless people are coming to these events and watching them online and doing those things because there's no money to pay those lower-end guys if no one's making the money to begin with. So while, yeah, Conor will make his money and Cowboy will still make his money, those little view counts that go away, like the guys like Tim Kelleher, he's not making any money unless people like myself and you guys buy the actual pay-per-view. So with that being said, yeah, Macy's tough as nails, man. To act like she's not tough is wild. Hey! Ooh! Maybe we use a little less than that. Oh my God.
Wax is heating up. Cooling down.
Ooh-wee. Maybe go heat it up a second while I take a little break. And then you come back and do some more. At least I can be able to get through the card a little bit instead of I'm sweating. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, Macy's tough as nails. She came out, put on a good performance for what she could. She threw a Superman punch off one leg at one point, but when she got hit with that jab and got pushed back, never bet leg hair again. Yeah, this is rough, man. Did not expect this to be that hard. Okay. But yeah, so Macy had a good fight. It wasn't her night, and Roxanne looked amazing. Roxanne's jiu-jitsu is so underrated. I think she trains up there with Eddie Alvarez, and he was talking about it after the fight, how she was just super underrated, and she's number 7 in that division. She was a plus 550 underdog. So if you guys put money on Roxanne Modafferi, like, let me get some of that here at the W.A.D.E concept. But no, it was a fun fight to watch. It was fun to watch Roxanne's transitions, even in the first round when she hadn't, the leg injury or the knee injury hadn't happened yet. Roxanne was still, taking advantage of different positions and using her sweeps, using her transitions on the ground. I think she had something like crazy, like 10 guard passes or 10 position passes, which is like a record for women's MMA. So, and your new champion. Let's go. I didn't even realize. Daniel, you got the belt? Let's go, baby. Chat. My boy Daniel got the belt in his fight yesterday. Shout out to him, man. We got to get a picture of that belt. Daniel, you got to send me a picture of you with that belt on Instagram or on Twitter or something, man. We definitely got to show the chat that one. So congrats to Daniel. He won his championship fight yesterday. So that's awesome, man. Congrats to you, Daniel. But yeah, will you actually just double check and make sure that everything sound wise is good before we do that? I'm actually just kind of wanting a little break, but but yeah, man, that was gonna be harder and harder to beat Jones' record. That's gonna be tough, man. You have I muted it. It might be why. You have people like Corey Sandhagen, who's still a little younger. But other than that, I don't really see anybody.
I can hear it's just really low.
Is really low?
I can barely hear it.
I don't know if it's that low. Guys, can you hear me in chat? Everybody, make sure you guys hear me in chat. I think it'll be fine, Kels. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Okay, Daniel says, second round, 1 minute left. That's awesome, Daniel. Congrats to you, brother. Says you're good? Okay. Yeah, so for Macy, it might not happen, but Corey Sandhagen's still young. I think he's probably the only guy left in the UFC right now, as young as he is, that could contend for possibly. Oh, whoa. I didn't know we were going up there. I thought we were doing just the bottom.
Oh.
I don't think we should do up there.
Oops. I'm already here.
Okay. Well, this is going to be awful. So yeah, I think that Corey Sandhagen's really the only guy up there left. But a good fight. And then we had Diego Ferreira. It's going to hurt like a mug. Hey! You have to wait and let it settle, love.
How come the first one did so good?
Because you waited for a second. You kept patting it down. How am I supposed to get this off?
You need baby oil. Did you buy that?
No. What is that?
That's finishing.
Okay.
You need to buy baby oil.
Okay. Jerikick, what's up, bro? He said, I was about to go to sleep, but saw you streaming. Just wanted to go in here and say hi.
Also, Daniel wants to know your Instagram.
Jesus, man. What's going on, Jerikick? Good to see you, brother. My IG is in the description of this video, Daniel. Just click the description. It's down there. The link to it it's W_Plemons, or W_Plem, sorry. W_Plem is my Insta. But, yeah, so we had the Diego Ferreira fight and Anthony Pettis. Anthony looked good, guys. I thought Anthony looked really good. I thought that he was landing pretty much at will with that check right hook. Diego kept getting caught coming in, and Anthony was having really good success on the feet. He looked creative once again. He looked crisp. The problem was Anthony's stylistic kind of matchup with Diego Ferreira is that Daniel's a great, why do I keep saying Daniel? Daniel in the chat. Diego's a great Brazilian black belt in jiu-jitsu. Anthony Pettis is not. Says, what is this? Why are you waxing your legs? Justin, so wagers before you do that one. Hey, oh my
Really got
God. You just ripped my skin off. Justin, so you guys didn't lose wagers. The wagers were for this fight week. Had I lost, I had to wax my leg. Well, I won wagers, but because you guys showed incredible support, because you guys showed incredible support, I thought I'd go ahead and give you a little treat anyway and have my leg waxed. This is not fun. This is awful. But yeah, that's what this is. Josh says, yeah, hey, what a quick fight. I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, yeah, Diego Ferreira. Anthony Pettis wasn't ready for the grappling ability of Diego Ferreira. He wasn't ready for that level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because we've seen Anthony Pettis be able to scramble, get away from guys, even Tony Ferguson, who's really, really good Jiu-Jitsu. But the problem is his go-to, it is fun for us. The problem is his go-to is kind of to spin out of positions, right? He spins out of a lot of stuff. If he gets his back taken, he spins to full guard. Well, Diego was using little techniques like grabbing the underhook on the arm or using the kind of lockdown on the legs or the body triangle to keep him from doing that. So he was just outmatched in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It wasn't, don't rip that way. Do not rip that way. Don't! Ho! My God, that hurt. Jurikit, good night, man. Appreciate you. It's 2 a.m. I got you, man. Have a good night. Justin says it's fun for us. I'm glad it's fun for you guys because this is not very fun for me at all. Okay, you don't need to put it on the ones that are already dried. It's not going to do anything.
It's doing something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, let me just get a break for just a second.
You know girls do this all the time.
I get it here. You're talking to the mic.
No,
They're
it's
in
okay.
here. I didn't lose. I know, Amaro. I know I didn't lose. It's more of just if you guys saw me on Twitter or on Instagram today, it's more just giving you guys something as a goofy little surprise.
I'm just trying to get this.
Okay, I'm good though.
This is easy.
Devil likes that. Obviously, the devil faces.
That.
Yeah, that one's still there. Thank you for that.
Ew.
Anyway, but that's kind of what happened in the Diego Ferreira fight. I thought it was a good showing from both guys. Diego, being 35 years old, is kind of right in his prime. So at 155, you're looking at him maybe taking on a top 10, top maybe 7 or 8 guy next. And for Anthony, he's by no means finished. It's just he's got to get back on track with some other fights under his belt. Devil says, "Get him, Kelsey." Trust me, she's having a good time.
This is the best day of my life, everyone.
She's having a good time doing this. Okay, from there, and by the way, guys, I'm going off strictly memory for this because of how hard this setup is to use. I can't see my computer. But I think from there we went to, before that. Oh, man. Send it to the IG. I will look at it. Here, where's my phone?
Right there.
Let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, he said he sent it to the IG. Send it to the IG. Ow, ow.
They're so smooth. That hurts?
I mean, a little bit.
You gotta have...
Oof. I'm checking the DMs. Did you send it to DMs? There it is. What the? Let me see it. My man, Daniel, if you want me to, I can show it to Chad. If not, I will let it ride. But that's awesome, dog. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you sending that. Kelsey, don't forget the ass crack.
I know.
Let it stay longer, Amaru says. That's why.
You know what? I'm trying.
Chat, let her know. Daniel, I got the pic here. But let me know. I'll keep at. Oh, you can? Okay. Kels, make sure you pop that in the middle there. All right, chat. This is Daniel. Daniel just won this title. Make sure you guys show him some love in chat. Look at that. Bam. Rocking it proudly, man. Wearing that strap, baby. Congrats to Daniel, man. But, from there, this is actually beforehand. I didn't mention this. We watched the Sadiq Youssef fight and the Sadiq Youssef and Andre Touchy-Feely. What a great fight that was. I was on the edge of my seat the entire fight for that. It was just bombs. Sadiq was throwing bombs. Andre Feely was touching him. Scrambles, wrestling, takedowns. Ooh, that's warm. And And yeah, so it was a fun fight to watch. Sadiq's wrestling is what really surprised me, though. His wrestling ability against a guy like Andre Feely, who at Team Alpha Male they wrestle guys. I mean, that's kind of their specialties are guillotines, grappling, and then they have some decent striking up there with Cody and some other guys. But Andre showed me a lot in his striking. I didn't think he'd be able to keep up in the strikey. Have it on for 1 or 2 minutes, they said.
How did they know this?
I don't know. Maybe they do this in their free time. Chat, maybe you guys are massage parlor frequenters. I don't know. You guys know better than I.
I got it in my hair.
Let me do one on yours right here. But yeah, we were watching that fight, and I just couldn't believe how good Sadiq's wrestling is. I'd never seen him wrestle to that level. I'd never seen him be able to like not only scramble but also gain a top position and keep it. His strength is so incredible for 145. So that guy's going to be there for a long time, and he's going to be a problem at 145 because it didn't look like where I thought he would get tired, like gassed out, tired from throwing all those big shots early. He didn't really do that. I remember you jumping out of the seat on the last fight. Oh, God. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a clips video coming up. The clips from
Good.
Mother.
The minute works, everyone.
Okay. Yikes, that one hurt. That one hurt. Okay, we can just leave that part.
What they do at the nail salon.
Okay. We can just leave that. Ooh, man. But yes, I do have a clips video coming for you guys from the entire card. It's pretty hilarious, I think. So I'll let you guys see that when it's ready. Okay. Did it work? Yeah, she almost ripped my skin off.
It's so soft.
But yeah, that fight was amazing. I thought that was that could have been a sleeper for fight of the night. We had Drew Dober dropping Nasrat by a massive left hand and following up with strikes. But all that was secondary. All that was bipartisan. And then we had Holly Holm showing great, grappling control on the cage, and that was a great fight for what it was worth. And Alexei Oleinik did his thing. But we're not here to talk about all that. We're not here to talk about all that at all. What?
Do I keep going?
Yeah. We're gonna do like that side and maybe a little bit of that side, and then we'll be done. What we're here to talk about is Conor McGregor, obviously, the main attraction, the main everything. How special was that, guys? Talk to me about how special it was to see Conor McGregor finally step into that cage once again and show us all the Mystic Mac that we all missed, the one that we all, grew to love back in that magic run between 2017 and 2012, that kind of him taking over the fight game and the pressure that guy was under. I know I said it on the actual live stream. I said, did you see Floyd wants to fight Khabib and Conor? Yeah, I saw that. Floyd's broke, it sounds like, again. Floyd's just running through money like a freaking money counter at the bank. The guy is just running through it, and he's looking for a fight. The guy just spends money like I've never seen. So Floyd's broke. Broke for Floyd is rich in our eyes, and I'm sure with you guys in the chat. But for him, who's supposed to be a multi-millionaire / close to billionaire, he's broke. So that's what it is. Wait, I'll send you my Conor impression for later this week. Let's go. Hey, that was something else we talked about on the live stream. If you guys want, man, we're going to be doing a video on Conor McGregor impressions. And if you want to get yours in, make sure you send it to me on Twitter or by DM on Instagram. And my God, that doesn't feel any better each time you do it. It just gets worse and worse and worse every single time. Jesus. No, he ain't. He broke. He has 800 mil. He says he has 800 mil. He says he has. I don't think he made 800 mil off one fight. The most he's made off an actual fight would probably have been the Manny Pacquiao fight, and then close to it, the Conor fight. And I think he made disclosed around 300 million for those. But the problem is Floyd spends his money on stupid things like a strip club that no one. Ooh, that hurts. Don't do whatever that was. Did you just pull a hair? Don't do that again. He spends his money on stupid stuff like a strip club in Vegas that no one goes to. And you want to know how I know? Because when I was working at Summer League, we drove by it every day and every night at 2 a.m. and no one was there. Nobody. No one. He doesn't make good investments with his money. That's just all it is. That's the only way I know, guys. I don't be going to. I don't even know what the name of the club is. Anyway, back to this. No, I did not. So basically, the main event, man. Let's talk about it. Conor comes out. The crowd is on its feet. The foggy dew mixed with the notorious plays, and he's back, and I'm sweating my tail off. I know you guys in the chat were too. I know he always posts that club on IG. Like, he's trying to promote it. It's just not working for him. All the stuff that you could have imagined for a Conor McGregor fight, the ambiance, the moment, the pressure, all the stuff that he likes, he had. And coming out, we had predicted Conor was going to land a check right hook, bang the right hook, bang the left hand, and win the fight that way. I don't think anybody predicted what was going to happen in that fight the way it happened. Who would have told you that Conor was going to come out? Conor usually comes out aggressive. He meets in the center of the cage. He throws the left hand, usually kind of measured, and it lands. He came out blitzing, threw a straight left that missed wildly. Thank God Donald ducked, because Donald ducked. Thank goodness that Donald actually ducked under it, because if that left hand hits, that might have sent Donald's head through the cage. He put a lot into that shot. But because he put a lot into that shot, it also, his momentum moved toward Donald. And I've watched this 2 or 3 times now. His momentum moved toward Donald as Donald moves toward him. The thigh, no one saw this, but the thigh of Conor McGregor's left thigh hits Donald in the side of the head, and that's the first blow of the night. That's the first shot that Donald takes, and I think it disorients him, because from that, they actually clinch. That one wasn't fun. Okay. No, you don't need to do that part.
They do it to me on my eyebrows.
Oh, okay. This isn't your eyebrow. Whew.
I have to do that.
Okay.
We're running out of paper.
Good. When you saw them clinch, Donald was already his hands weren't positioned correctly. Like, he was trying with an underhook on his right side, but the problem was Donald had his arm pinned by Conor. And because he did, Conor was able to not only change level, but then come back into him with the shoulder. And he hit that shoulder he hit it 3 times. He threw it 4 times. And that was pretty much the beginning of the end, that thigh and then the shoulders. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get hurt with shoulders like that, ever. And maybe that's a testament to Conor's shoulder training. I saw the memes on Instagram and stuff, but I honestly think it's more of just a testament to Donald being shocked right out of the gate from that shot that Conor hit with the left thigh, and then the head kick to follow it up was beautiful after Donald attempted his own. And then Conor just has a killer instinct, man. The guy knows when you're hurt. He knows how to finish fights. He, more than anybody else, in pressure situations, and maybe John Jones is right there too, but those two guys, when the pressure's on and they have to finish a fight, or they're in a moment where they can finish the fight, they are killers in that moment. And Conor is one of the best at doing it, if not the best. And he swarms Donald and he finishes the fight. And the fight itself, there were interesting moments in it. Conor hit that corkscrew Nassim uppercut that he loves so much. If you go back to the Max Holloway fight, you saw him throw that. It's a lead hand uppercut that he throws kind of hopping to his right side, to his offhand, to kind of get an outside angle to land it up the middle for the straight to come down as well. He lines up that straight left hand by kind of swinging his body offline and throwing the right hand lead uppercut. So I call it a corkscrew uppercut. Some people call it the Nassim uppercut. Devil says, when you have $1 million lifestyle, 800 milli goes fast. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's so much money that Floyd Mayweather says he has that he doesn't, or it's tied up in stuff like cars or a strip club or the IRS. The man is not rich. By his standards, he should be rich. Just pull it. Just do it.
Did you do something?
No, but I don't like this waiting period.
It's not ready. It's not ready.
What do you mean it's not ready?
It's not ready.
You just almost ripped my knee off. Ah!
I told you it wasn't.
What the hell was that?
I said it wasn't ready, and you didn't believe me.
Jesus, what was that?
I told you it wasn't
Oh
ready.
my God. But yeah, so the fight itself wasn't even the most interesting part of the night. By the way, I hope you guys are liking this, because this is the worst thing that I've ever thought of for a live stream. But yeah, that part wasn't even the most interesting part. It was just the ambience of Conor being back, and now the implications of what it means that Conor's back. So we're looking forward in 2020, guys, right? We're looking forward. That's just not a good place. That's just not a good place.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh, no more. 1 to 2 minutes, Wade? What does that mean, Amaro?
I think.
Oh. He's saying for how long it's supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
It was just not a good spot. I have like loose skin on my knee right there, so let's not attack that
Well,
anymore.
I need to get it.
No,
off.
you
We're
don't
not
need
gonna
to.
be able get it
Baby
off.
oil.
We don't have that.
Well, I'll go get some.
We need to.
No, you don't need to anymore. It's literally, it hurts. I have scar tissue there. I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, good lord, you're fine.
Oh my god, it sucks so bad. What you're doing is you're not redoing it. So now it's just gonna keep pulling at it, and nothing's gonna happen.
Why don't you do your thing?
Anyway, yeah. So looking forward into 2020. Conor has a lot. I mean, it's basically his world right now. The whole Jorge Masvidal thing was for Ball Wednesday. That's not happening. Ball Wednesday is never happening.
Should I just do it and leave it alone if it doesn't work?
Yes. Okay, we're done. That's all. That's no more of that spot.
Painful.
Yeah, it looks painful. It is painful. Anyway,
We should take a break.
I agree. Anyway, please look for some baby oil somewhere.
We don't have any.
You didn't look downstairs nowhere?
Why would we have baby oil? Do we have a baby here?
You.
A giant one.
You. But no, so looking forward to 2020. Sorry, my mind is not on that. Looking forward to 2020. We have a couple options for Conor, man. He can do the Jorge Masvidal thing, which at the moment when I saw it, that's all I thought about was give me Jorge Masvidal because of how white hot Jorge is, and he was wearing Conor's robe or the old robe that Conor wore during the Maymac presentation. But it kind of looked forced a little bit.
Sorry, I spilled it on my phone.
It kind of looked forced. And then even Conor called him a tick. He's like, look at that stupid fool in his house coat, that tick. So, there's something there, obviously, for the Jorge fight. Today, Jorge came out on Ariel Helwani's show and said, we're not waiting on Conor. I'll take the Kamaru Usman fight because that dude doesn't want to fight me. So there's still a little bit there. But Dana White came out after the fights and said he wants to see Conor fight Khabib. And I think it's interesting for a lot of reasons. I think he makes some good points because that fight with Jorge Masvidal is kind of a one-off fight if you think about it. And again, I was the number one guy in chat screaming, give me Jorge, give me Jorge. But if you really kind of sit down and think about it, Jorge Masvidal can be done win or lose versus Khabib. I sent a pic of my opponent after the fight. He's my boy, though, so love. Got it. I'll check it out in a second, Daniel. But yeah, Jorge Masvidal and Conor McGregor, that fight is almost like the Nate fight. Now, the Nate fight is a trilogy, but those fights are still there, regardless of championship bouts or if Conor goes and fights Khabib and loses or fights Tony and loses. I still think that Jorge fight can still be made and it still do a really good number. And I'm almost more convinced by it because of Dana, which Uncle Dana, man, he knows how to verbalize a matchup to make it make sense. Because Conor really, it doesn't make the most sense for Conor to get a shot against the winner of Khabib and Tony, rankings-wise. It would be Justin Gaethje, you would think. But with that being said, these are once-in-a-lifetime moments. If Khabib is to get through Tony, these are once-in-a-lifetime moments. And to be fair, so is the Khabib and Tony fight. That's a once-in-a-lifetime fight. Tony on a 12-fight win streak. Khabib undefeated, never really even been cut, never been knocked down, none of it. So to make the Conor McGregor and Khabib fight, I think is the right move. If you're the UFC, if you're Conor McGregor. Khabib Nurmagomedov, and this was brought up in the post-fight press conference, I don't know if he even wants the fight with Conor. I don't think he even wants to give Conor the satisfaction of granting him the rematch. But I don't know if it's totally up to him. I think the UFC will throw all the money in the world at him. I think Khabib has enough money. I don't know. If they can get it done, the historic precedent of what it'll mean for people like me and you, the fans of this sport, to see a fight with Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, with now the belief, at least in my head, the belief that there could be a different outcome. Not that there will be, but there could be, because Conor, in a short sample size, showed us he's still a killer, right? He still comes in there and drops fools off like it's Sunday at the pool. He'll drop you off real quick, you know what I mean? And also, the bravado is back, right? He has some fans on his side again. I don't want to say that it was all, like a PR tour for Conor this week, but man, if that's who Conor McGregor really is, you strip away the money and the fame and the belts and all the trash talk. If that's who Conor is, who he was to Donald in this fight, and even afterward hugging Donald's grandma in the cage, if that is who Conor McGregor is, I'm all for it. And I loved Conor before, but I really like that guy because he's genuine, he's honest. He's forthcoming. He's vulnerable a little bit. In the interview after the fight with Ariel Helwani in the locker room, he's a little bit emotional, and that's stuff you really don't see from a guy like Conor, who's usually so intense and forward and competitive and all those things. He still is, but it was cool to see that other side of Conor. And to act like I don't want to see the legendary matchup. I wasn't around for the Fraziers and the Alis. We weren't around for the Mike Tyson era. At least I wasn't. So I never have had that defining, maybe the John Jones DC stuff, but that was kind of a one-sided rivalry. But still, give me that fight for the third time today, and I'm down. The Stipe DC stuff is there, but there's not a lot of outside of competition. There's not a lot there. It is a great rivalry, and of course, it's one of the best in history at heavyweight. But this is bad blood, and for whatever reason, it makes for great rivalries when guys just cannot stand each other. And especially in this sport where you get to settle it by going in there and fighting the guy, we could be robbed of an all-time great rivalry if they never see each other again, if they never fight again. And I'm not saying it, like I said, it even is deserving. I'm not saying that it's the right move as far as rankings go and statistics on who should be next. But as far as history goes and as far as fans of the sport, will we really be talking about a Justin Gaethje-Khabib fight down 20, 30 years from now? We could be. We definitely could be. But I know based off the first fight and based off the what led up to it, the dolly in the bus, and casual MMA fans as well, they don't know who Justin Gaethje is. And that's not to say that they shouldn't or should, but they don't know who he is. Conor has a fan base that reaches across the world. Khabib has a fan base that reaches across the world. You say both those guys' name and you say they're fighting each other, you could break that $3 million pay-per-view number. And I know that's crazy to say, but you definitely could do it. And like I said, to act like I don't want to see that rematch is just be lying. So it'd be tough, man. It'd be tough to not ever see that again. So I think at the moment, this is what probably is going to happen, even though I don't know. I don't know. Khabib's going to fight Tony in April. After that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Ramadan happens, right? For the Islamic religion, there's the period of time during the year that they practice Ramadan, which would kind of preclude Khabib from fighting during that time because there's only certain times during the day you can eat and train and do things like that, which would completely cut his camp almost in half. So I don't know if he would even. I think he said he wouldn't. So he would want to fight in April and then fight twice toward the end of the year or once toward the end of the year. So that gives Conor McGregor a window here from now until November or, October, November, December, whatever it is, that Khabib would be ready to fight again, where he's not fighting anyone. There's where the hole in my logic comes, because it's like, if you're Conor McGregor, you don't want to sit out again. You don't want to sit out another 7 or 8 months. Yes, I think the fight to make is Khabib and Conor, but if you are Conor McGregor, he's going to take somebody. And it could very well be Jorge. So while I want to see Khabib happen next, I think my original prediction might come true, and then Jorge would probably slide into that slot around March and April. It's just timeline-wise, it makes sense. We've heard Conor say, look, I don't care about necessarily a person. I care about a date, March, April. We've heard Jorge come out and say, look, my hands are getting healed up. I'll be ready in April. It lines up. It makes sense. Now, whether it's Jorge or it's Justin Gaethje or Kamaru Usman, which I think is kind of in the back burner now. I feel like that one's on the back burner just because to get to Jorge, I do feel like you would want to have the Masvidal fight first. If you're going to do the Kamaru fight, you save that one because it's not the money fight that Jorge is. And you can almost treat the Jorge-Conor fight like a number one contender fight, which is, again, crazy to believe that Conor would come out, beat Donald, beat Jorge, and slide into a title shot when you have Leon Edwards and Tyron Woodley there. But I could very well see it happening. So you look through 2020, and I'm throwing out a lot of names. I'm throwing about Shogun. What's cracking, baby? What's going on, man? Welcome in. We did some leg waxing. I'm still recovering. I think I'm bleeding.
Really?
I think so. Under the skin, though. But we're hanging out, man. Some leg waxing because you guys showed so much support in on Saturday night. So I appreciate you guys as always. Wanted to make sure you guys came in and got a little laugh, a little recap, little analysis, and a little laugh. But yes, a lot of stuff we're throwing out for 2020 for Conor because, quite frankly, he has pretty much all the options. Conor holds all the cards again as far as who he's going to fight, and I do think he'll fight sooner than later. I think we're done, yeah?
You want me to be done?
I think so.
You gotta shave the rest of that.
Yeah, I definitely will.
You wanna trade phones?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to in 2020. Now, John Kavanaugh, I haven't really listened to this yet. I just saw the headline. John Kavanaugh, I think, was on Ariel's show earlier and said he would like to see Conor stay at 170, which is interesting because that would, I mean, the Khabib fight's there, and I think Conor is going to have the final say on who he fights, of course. But at the same time, if you're John Kavanaugh and you're coming out and saying you want to see Conor stay at 70, it's probably echoing what Conor says. And he even, he alluded to it a little bit after the press conference. Like, I like 170. These guys aren't that much bigger than me. Like, I have power. And we saw that he still carries power. That head kick rocked Cowboy, even though Cowboy was already kind of, at that point, out on his feet. But Conor showed us a small sample size, just enough. And I heard this on the Luke Thomas show today. He said, Conor showed us just enough to keep us interested, or just enough to keep to regain the imagination of the masses, to regain that magician status, right? But at the same time, not enough to convince us not to come watch again. So, like, it wasn't like Cowboy wrestled Conor around and Conor had this epic comeback after being tossed around all fight, which might have turned some people off to being like, Conor hasn't improved. He hasn't improved his ground game, whatever. But also, he didn't show enough in the striking to be like, oh, like, there's nothing to see here. He's dominating everything. He showed just enough with the head kick, with the odd shoulder strikes, to be able to, like I said, keep us interested, to keep us on that, or to, like I said, regain some of that mystic Mac kind of aura that he had. And for me, I'm back on the train, and I never really left the train. I told you guys during the live stream, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the differences. Shogun says he wants to have 3 belts in 3 different weight classes. If he gets 70, then if he gets 70, then GSP will do everything to push the fight against Khabib. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Like, Conor 100% wants all 3 belts. That's he said that a couple of times. We'll see about the GSP Khabib thing. I think that Dana would barring any kind of Conor just tanking, like, the GSP fight, and it sounds so crazy to say this, the GSP Khabib fight strictly relies on Conor McGregor. If Conor McGregor continues to ascend again and continues to build himself back to the one of the greatest on the planet, and like I said, the aura that he carried. Noah said, yo, I got to go. Need to help out my brother moving some things outside. No, take it easy. Thank you for coming back with the support again today. First one in chat today, so shout out to No. Everybody give love as No heads out to go help the brother out. But thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hope you got some enjoyment out of me tearing the hair off my legs. But yeah, I think all this stuff that Conor has done in 40 seconds, which is crazy to believe, has basically set him up to say, everything that happens now revolves around Conor. We thought it would be revolving around Jorge or maybe even Khabib, but it doesn't seem like it now. It seems like it's more about what Conor does. Amaro says, I'm usually first, but I was at the wash. Yeah, Amaro's usually first. Pretty much, Amaro's here usually first in chat every time. So shout out to Amaro for being here first most of the time. So this is interesting. Going into 2020, going to 2021, we have our opinions. I think it's going to be Jorge or Justin Gaethje in April, depending on kind of what lines up. I think Jorge, if you're going to do Jorge or Justin Gaethje for Conor, it's kind of either, I think it's going to be Jorge. I mean, the money fight's there. The only way I would see it wouldn't be Jorge is if they did Gaethje at 70, which I don't know if that's a good idea, just off the monster that Gaethje is already at 55. But I've heard that tossed around. I think even, like I said earlier, John Kavanaugh was talking about how he wants to see Gaethje at 70 for Conor. I think the better fight, statistically, whatever, money-wise for the UFC would be Jorge in April. If Conor gets through that, then good God, he has a pick of anything. He can go after Kamaru. He can go after Khabib. He can do both in maybe one at the end of the year and one at the start of 2021. Who knows? And we got boxing stuff that he's talking about with Manny Pacquiao, and the guy is just, he's back. That's all that matters. He's back. He looks focused. You want to see Conor and Pettis? That'd be a fun fight. I don't think we'll ever see it now, though, unfortunately. I think Conor is only going to be fighting huge money fights, title fights, or number one contenderships for title fights. That's probably going to be it. And I don't think Anthony, unless he wins 3 or 4 straight at 55, is going to have any title shots anytime soon. But I would like to see it too. That'd be a fun fight, a fun a fun technique-wise kickboxing match. That'd be great. But yeah. So going forward, you look into 2020. There's the run of the table. If Conor gets a fight against Jorge and wins, like I said, he could point in both directions. But outside of that, I thought that it was interesting just how Conor came back. I thought the biggest story of the weekend, the win. I mean, Conor he had to win, right? For any of this to be true, for all the stuff that we're talking about today to be true, he had to win, and he did that. But I thought that the most interesting part was we went into the fight going, can Conor fight as well as he does when... No, I'm not waxing both, man. I'm just doing the one, Shogun. I'm done. I am done. That stuff hurts. I am done. I was going to do both. I was going to wax both if Cowboy had if Conor had submitted Cowboy, I was going to do both. But luckily that didn't happen. That's the first time I've ever waxed any part of me, leg, whatever. And that's hell, man. Shout out to girls because that's rough. You guys know what you're doing and tough as nails. That was awful. But I thought it was the most interesting part was that Conor was just jovial to be back. He was more humble. He was respectful. He was focused. I kept talking about, and all I kept hearing was, I'm focused on the skills. I'm focused on the skills. And he's looking at this like a season, like a professional athlete in football or basketball. They look at it as a season, and they don't focus on the trash talk in the lead up. They focus on the skills and the match itself or the game itself. And that's how Conor approached this week. And so I thought the biggest takeaway was, yes, Conor looked amazing. He didn't show enough to me to be like, okay, like this is a wildly different Conor McGregor. It was more the same stuff. The hands were kind of down low in the little sample size we got. Again, the corkscrew uppercut, left hand behind it. Kind of the shoulder roll that shows the left hand, then throws the corkscrew. Beautiful head kick. And then vicious ground and pound and killer instinct. But the biggest takeaway, like I said, I had was Conor came in. Can you look at that pic? I will look, Daniel. I got you after stream, brother. Don't worry. Yeah, waxing's painful. Oh yeah, that was awful. But yeah, that was the biggest takeaway for me is Conor came in, did his thing, and showed us all that he really can fight, even being the gentleman Conor. He doesn't have to have the vitriol and the venom and the, I don't want to even say hatred, but just like the super intense, like got to talk trash, got to get in your face, got to make you, intimidated. He didn't have to do any of that, and he still came out a cold-blooded killer. So for that, I was very impressed by Conor McGregor. So that's kind of our recap, man. Macy Barber out 9 months with a completely torn ACL, which is devastating for her, obviously, in the short term. But in the long term, I think it's going to help Macy. I think the pressure of trying to be the youngest champion in UFC history, it's so much more than she probably even realizes at her age. She's 21 years old. She's going to be around for a long time. She's in a great, I don't know if she's over there like full time, but she's got a great team with Duke Rufus and Ben Askren. She does have to work a little bit on the ground. I think her striking can even improve a ton more. She does get hit on her feet a lot, just being so aggressive. So I think this is going to be good for her, more than she probably wants to believe right now. And I'm in no position to tell a fighter what's going to be good or bad for him. My opinion is I think that the weight of saying I'm going to be the youngest champion in UFC history is kind of off her shoulders now. And now she can actually focus on, becoming that champion without a timeline on it. She can focus fight to fight on what she has to do to then put herself in a position to be champion. So 2 taps in a row, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Because we had Fajeda tapping Pettis, and then we had Brian Kelleher tapping Ode Osborne, which that one was weird to see that one. The way he got it, and that kind of like close grip guillotine, and then pulled it over. That was awesome. So shout out to Brian Kelleher, the guy that like I said, you get to see how real it is for some fighters when they come out on the mic and said, hey, man, if I lost this one, it might have been my job. So thank you. That's crazy. That's crazy to see how real that gets. So that was cool to see. It's cool to see everybody in the crowd too. You had all the stars. Tom Brady was out. They shunned Baker Mayfield. They kept passing over him. They had Myles Garrett. Obviously, Kamaru Usman was there. I thought it was interesting that there was two guys. You saw Kamaru and Masvidal that weren't necessarily concerned about each other, but more concerned with Conor McGregor. Obviously, we know why. He's the big money fight. But it was interesting to see both the camera pan to Kamaru and him acting like, oh, it's not a big deal. And they see George, and George is giddy. George is excited to be on camera. He thinks Conor's going to call him out, and Conor didn't give him the light of day. So Conor won. I think Conor took the W even in the little psychological game there because he didn't give Jorge or Kamaru really any shine. And he just kind of was like, that was weird. He said Jorge blew it wearing the sweater or wearing the robe because it looked like what old Irish women wear around the house, which is funny. Yeah, Shogun says Dober had a good fight, nice finish. Yeah, Drew Dober, man, straight left blasted on Nasrat and followed it up with vicious strikes. He looked really, really good. He got a bonus on the night. So overall, it wasn't the card that was going to, be remembered as one of the greatest cards of all time, right? We knew that coming into the fight. It was not going to be that card that we looked back and was like, man, UFC 246, that was like the most stacked card we'd ever seen, like the old UFC 217 card, 3 titles, or even the recent 245 card with 3 titles on it. Those cards were stacked. But that wasn't going to be this. This was going to be the Conor McGregor card, and he definitely showed that it is his card because he came out with all the pressure on. He walked out last, all the crowd on their feet waiting on him to do what he did. He came out, put on a nice performance, stylistic finish that I think we all were looking for or hoping for. And, he did it cleanly, smooth, quick. So Shogun says, I thought the prelims were better than the main card. Yeah. I was confused by the Holly Holm as the co-main, not necessarily because it was Holly Holm, just because of the stylistic kind of matchup she had. You knew Diego Ferreira and Anthony Pettis were going to come out raring to go, especially Anthony Pettis. He's going to come out swinging, and he's precise and he's accurate, and he threw a capoeira kick, and I mean he's just flashy. He brings a fight that's very entertaining. So I was confused as to why they put that fight on really early and then put the Holly Holm fight on late. Not that Holly didn't look impressive. She did, and I don't mean to skip over or like it didn't happen. Just aesthetically, it wasn't the most entertaining fight. She backed Raquel up into the fence 3-4 times in 3 rounds and kind of held her there, which is a complete domination in octagon control and cage control and the stuff that if you can't do anything about it, why stop it, right? So good for Holly. Khabib beat Brock Lesnar. Does that mean could Khabib beat Brock Lesnar? Because I don't think so. I think Brock would because he's not like a Khabib versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, I think Brock would destroy Khabib in a wrestling match and possibly even an MMA fight. I mean, I don't think Khabib. I know Khabib they got wild tales of Khabib being very strong and tossing around guys, and I mean, you would just naturally think Brock Lesnar being a wrestler, Khabib being a wrestler. Brock being explosive for that size. He's very quick. That strength advantage would probably be there for him. Just because Khabib is a phenomenal Sambo wrestler and has great technique, I don't see how that would go for him. But I don't think we'll ever see that one, so probably not. But I would say Brock would probably handle that pretty easily. Brock's a natural 290-pound man versus a natural 190-pound man probably with Khabib. But yeah. So I think that's our recap, guys. Like I said, wasn't the card that was gonna just impress everybody and make us look back in history, but it is a moment in history we will look back and we'll say Conor McGregor came back that day. That was the day that Conor wasn't the flat-footed, arrogant, almost disrespectful in the cage because he was just coming out with no respect for any opponent, walking forward on Khabib, and he gets caught, and the Mystic Mac is gone, and he's got legal troubles and all this. That he's not obviously done with that stuff yet. There's still some allegations and whatnot, but the sky just kind of, the clouds kind of parted a little bit for Conor, and he got into the good graces of a lot of fans, including myself, which I was never somebody that hopped off that bandwagon, but you should, if you guys go back and watch that, listen to the pop in the crowd when Conor, they finally wave the fight off and Conor wins that. The crowd goes nuts. Like you don't really get that reaction from unless it's like a devastating KO and it's quick and it's kind of over. Conor gets this roaring reaction that just rounds and rounds and rounds. He won a lot of people back, and he won a lot of fans over, and that was, I think the goal was to get Conor's pay-per-view status, his mojo, his cage feet, or whatever you want, octagon feet back, and he did that. So put some pants on, buddy. What's up, Wade? I got shorts on. I just wear them a little high. Sorry. What's cracking, though? How you doing, man? This is... Oh, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, yes. Sorry. The shorts are a little short, but that's because I'm in California. You know how we like our weather out here, man. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Is there any questions you guys had? Anything you wanted me to talk about before we got off here? Anything that you saw in the news today? Any MMA news that I might have missed that's out right now? Like I said, I know Jorge was on Ariel's podcast, and he was talking about how he doesn't want to wait on Conor. John Kavanaugh was on Ariel's podcast and talked about they might want Justin Gaethje at 170 and that Conor might want to stay there. But other than that, I think that we're pretty solid on our news today. The recap was more for you guys to get me to let you guys see my legs get waxed and have a little bit of a comedy little deal for you guys, because again, I appreciated all the support you gave me on the live stream the other day. So thank you for that. Soldier says I'm playing. Hope all is good. What happened to Kamaru? Is he out for good? Nothing happened to Kamaru. So if you're talking about the stuff that happened on his Twitter, I don't know if that was necessarily him. I think Soldier might be talking about Kamaru having his Twitter hacked on Saturday night. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a big ordeal where Kamaru Usman's Twitter was hacked, and he was talking about how he was going to do things to Conor McGregor's wife, and then his bank account got leaked. So I think someone got into Kamaru's account it happens sometimes in these big fights, but it's very dangerous to leak someone's bank information like that. That was crazy. Conor was accusing what's his name? Ali Abdelaziz of doing it, Kamaru's manager, and he apparently has had some history. I don't think there's any water to that right now. I think it was just a simple case of someone's Twitter getting hacked. But Kamaru's healthy. He's fine. He's ready to go. But I will see. We'll see what happens with Kamaru. They're talking about Jorge and Kamaru, possibly that fight happening sooner again rather than later, because Conor is still. We don't know if he's doing the Khabib thing where he's waiting, or Justin Gaethje, or there's just some pieces that are going to have to fall into place come March or April, and then we'll start to really see how the 2020 picture kind of lays out. Shogun says, Khabib dad said they would consider a rematch with Conor for $100 million. Woo, $100 million. I mean, you think about it, depending on where it is. I mean, Dana came out and said, well, Conor wants to do it in Moscow. Dana said that won't happen, probably for pay-per-view reasons. So they're looking to get the biggest number possible for that rematch. And of course you would. Dana threw out places like the O2 Arena in London, which is crazy. They threw out stuff like the new Raiders Vegas Stadium, which I drove by when I was down in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and that thing looks huge. They could definitely do some business that would make some money there. $100 million though. I mean, the thing is, if Khabib gets $100 million, what does Conor get for that? You know what I mean? Because Khabib he brings in a good amount of fans, but he doesn't bring them in like Conor does. So $100 million is probably something the UFC would say, okay, let's sit down and talk, and we'll get to a number that is realistic. But I don't know about $100 million. That number's never been seen in MMA before. That's never been a number that MMA fighters have ever made. So that would be the first. But Conor and Khabib could be very well do the firsts in a lot of those financial categories. Daniel says Logan said he wants to be in MMA and is talking to them about it. I don't think that Logan will ever fight in the UFC unless he were to accumulate like 4 or 5 professional MMA wins. I could see him fighting in Bellator. I could see Bellator taking that publicity, taking that shine that they saw DAZN get, because let's be honest, DAZN and Logan Paul and KSI came together to make an event. They didn't come together to make two boxers that are going to be actual competitive professional boxers. That's not what the event was about. They came to sell pay-per-views, put on an entertaining show, and they did just that. You saw me react to that fight. I was entertained. I was excited. It was one of my most watched pay-per-view live stream reactions on my channel. So what'll probably happen with Logan Paul is he will probably, if he does MMA, he's talking about fighting or boxing Antonio Brown, which would be another one that sells a lot and he would make a lot of money off of. And it would be interesting to watch, just to watch it. But if he's going to do MMA, I would assume that he does it with someone like Bellator, who does have more of a. I know UFC did things with CM Punk, and I think they learned their lesson there. But Bellator has brought in guys like Jake Hager, who's Jack Swagger in the WWE and had no professional MMA experience. They brought him in, and they're giving him basically whatever's less than a cupcake, they're giving to Jake Hager for him to start his MMA career. So I could see him doing that with Scott Coker and the team over at Bellator, for sure. Will I be reacting to Jake Paul and Gibb? Yes, I will be reacting to Jake Paul and Gibb. We will definitely do that. LOL, thanks, man. Stay fresh. Get that super chat going. We can't throw you cash. My man, Soldier, I appreciate that, dog. You're like the third or fourth person to say that. And as soon as I'm able to get monetized, so this, I don't know if you guys know, I'll kind of break it down quickly. Again, Soldier, you're the GOAT, man. Thank you so much for that. As soon as I'm able to monetize the channel, I definitely will do that. And again, I will never ask you guys, ever ask you for any type of monetary donation, any type of anything like that. Never. I will always appreciate that when we get to that point. But what I have to do to get there first is I have to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to be monetized. This is like their base level. 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 hours of concurrent video play. And I think we're close on the hours of concurrent video watch time. But the subscribers, we have to build. As a channel, we're very small, and that's why I'm doing these goofy things like this. And you see the thumbnail artwork improving, the stuff you have to do on YouTube. But we'll get there, man. We'll definitely get there. And when we do, it'll be a blast having this community that I started, that we started from nothing, from a couple of people, that's grown into what it is now at 250 subscribers. 2 years, it seems like a lot for 250 subscribers, and I know people are jetting off and doing their own thing and making tons of content and doing really well, but I love our little community, man, and we're going to make it grow. 10,000 by the end of the year is the goal, and we're going to get there. Thank you, Soldier. It says, how many pay-per-views did they sell? I think, Shogun, and don't quote me on this because I don't know the actual number, but I know it was over 1 million. I know it rivaled the first Anthony. I think it did better than the first Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz fight for DAZN. If you're talking about the KSI Logan Paul pay-per-view, that did better than AJ and Andy Ruiz, the first fight. So to put that in perspective, that's I think 4-division heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, fighting Andy Ruiz, who, granted, a lot of people didn't think was going to beat Anthony Joshua, sold less than the first time two guys ever stepped in a pro boxing ring with no headgear on and fought. It's crazy. 2 YouTubers. Daniel said, oh, I love that video with the Conor whiskey. Yeah, we definitely got to start getting out of the comfort zone a little bit more and doing some stuff like that. The whiskey taste video is when Proper 12 first came out. That bottle, I don't even know if I still have that bottle. Do we still have that first bottle? There was the first design is not what you see with the Proper 12 design now. It's somewhere, I'm sure, but it was like way smokier. It wasn't green like it is now. It was like a dark brown and a little bit of tint of green, but it wasn't like that. So I didn't lay that stuff out today. She's gonna kill me. So yeah, it wasn't that bottle, but it was definitely a fun video, and we definitely got to get back to doing stuff like that. I think we're gonna do more on my actual fight stuff. I just have to get back in the gym, and I haven't done that recently, but we will be. German said, what happened? What happened? I just had my legs waxed into oblivion by Kelsey. That's what happened. Amaro says, bro, Jake Paul's going to smash Gibb. It's going to be bad. It could very well be bad. Jake looks like the more technical boxer out of the two. Gibb does not look like he possesses any athletic ability, but he possesses a ton of heart. And this is the same kind of comparison that we had with Logan and KSI. Logan's a far better athlete. Far better. I mean, you watch KSI throw a punch, and it looks like he's never attempted to move his arm before in a forward motion and back. It doesn't look like he possesses any sort of athleticism to be able to do it. But those guys have crazy heart, crazy mental fortitude, a work ethic that just isn't able to be broken, and a mental kind of fortitude that just isn't broken. So it's something to be said for a guy that's not willing to quit or not willing to stop or be stopped. Daniel says, Amaro, I don't think so. See, that's what I'm saying. That's right. Soldier says, that's right. You'll get those numbers up soon. Keep going. Takes a little while. Appreciate you, my man. We'll keep it going. We will. We'll keep striving for it. And we're going to get there, man. You guys are the reason we're going to get there, not me. Oh, we got bets going on in the chat. Amaru and Daniel going on with bets. Shogun said, can Kelsey put you in MC at the end of your stream? Not sure what is that? Can put you in an MC at the end of your stream. Logan and Jake were wrestlers. Yeah. Logan and Jake were wrestlers. Waffles was cracking, baby. What's going on, Waffles? Logan and Jake were high school wrestlers. The difference is, man, and people don't realize this. I've always said that wrestling is a great, if not the greatest background for MMA. But high school wrestling, even if it's in Ohio, which is a hotbed in wrestling, you can't just stop doing something for as long as they have. Even if it's 4 or 5 years, expect to pick up not only on the wrestling ability, but also you have to factor in that you're not shooting from the same distance in MMA as a wrestler as you are in an actual amateur wrestling contest. Or you're not having to deal with the fact that when you shoot in on a guy and you're sitting there holding onto a leg and he's sprawling, he's going to elbow you in the side of the head or punch you in the side of the head, and that doesn't feel good. And usually you wouldn't have to deal with that in a wrestling contest, or just the myriad of differences between the space and timing that you have in MMA versus when you start in wrestling. Most of the time you start in that crouch position, collar, hand behind neck, collar tie, stuff like that. You're going to start in an upward position, and you have to get to that shot. And most guys know how to defend a shot in MMA, so it is a little different. Oh, have her put me in a rear naked choke. Not quite. Kelsey her triangle's a little better, if you know what I mean. Dang, they're going 10 PayPal on it. Oh my god, $10 on the Jake Paul Gibb fight. We got Daniel going with Gibb, and Amaru going with Jake Paul. Be here when he reacts. Yeah, 100%, guys. I like that. Okay, Waffles, I appreciate you being in here, big dog. Daniel, Amaru, Shogun, of course. Soldier was in here, giving big love. German. Josh popped in for a tad little bit, and Noah was in here as well. Devil was in here. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Quick little stream to let you guys know I appreciate you always, and this is a fun little deal for us to do. I thought to be able to get back into the swing of things. We should be doing some more videos outside of just the actual podcast, and I realize that. We'll get there, guys. We're growing every day. It's the W.A.D.E concept. You guys already know what it is. Today, we were not debating, but waxing and recapping everything. I hope you guys liked it. Until next time, thank you so much. We will be back probably Thursday for predictions for Saturday's fight card between is it this Saturday Jake Paul's fighting? We might do a multicast stream because I know Jake Paul's fighting, but Junior Dos Santos and Curtis Blades are fighting as well. Bro, don't get cocky. Best of luck to both fighters. But yes, thank you guys for being here. I love the passion you guys always bring. We'll see if it's Jake Saturday. We'll definitely watch. If not, I think Jake might be Jake's Thursday night. That's right. Jake and them are fighting on a Thursday night before the Super Bowl. So we'll catch that on a Thursday. I will see you guys then. As always, this is the W.A.D.E concept, and we are debating everything. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time. If I can fix this one.